The statements made in this presentation have not been evaluated by the FDA. Nothing in this presentation should be construed as diagnosing, prescribing, or treating disease. It is presented for education only. We must legally warn you that if you're ill, have any disease, are pregnant or nursing, you should consult your medical doctor before attempting any natural or herbal program. I was sent this via my team in the Ukraine. Well, and this lady is actually in Russia. She's a 72-year-old, Nadezhda Senkina. She's 72. Can you believe that, folks? That is amazing. Let's see what happened when she was doing the youth crystals. Oh, let's take a look at where this lady came from. I wanted to show you this here. 1 second. I just want, she's from Yakutsk, Russia. Okay. Now, get this. We're here in the United States, right? So where's Yakutsk? This is in Russia. This is like close to where Siberia is. You see this little red dot? So somehow the product got to her. This is how far our reach is with our company. So, and why did this product get there? Because really somebody cared about somebody else. Somebody, spent a couple of minutes explaining what the product does. I mean, she lives in this town. Get this, in this town, they have in the Melkelin Permafrost Institute, they have an underground laboratory showcasing fossils, a mammoth cow. And this is sub-zero, this is permanent permafrost. They have these kind of things. So our product goes out to a region where they have mammoths displayed in the museum. It's actually astounding. So, like this world is really small with the internet the way it is, So when you think you live in Canada, you think we could send our product anywhere in the world and produce wonderful results. Now let's see what kind of results this lady has. Okay, let's take a look at her picture again. That's her again, 72 years old. What did she write? This is the first 3 months. I was very surprised and did not even immediately believe my eyesight had noticeably improved. This is with severe myopia. That means you can't see far distance. From adolescence, cataracts and diabetic angioretinopathy, which is a disease of the retina, in which the retina is the part that has these little cones in there that grabs the light and then creates that image that your brain sees. And then which in fairly short time leads to complete loss of vision. That's what she had. Until recently, I was completely unable to read the fine print, even with glasses. Now I do without stress. I was amazed when I began to see the numbers of the buses from afar. Previously, only when the bus was approaching a stop. Now I can work on the tablet much longer, several hours. The eyes stop getting tired, as if it was not long ago. All this testifies to the effectiveness of the product. Salivation, Nadezhda, 72 years old. Now that's 3 months. You got to realize, folks, every product that you're on, the new product, you should be on it for 3 months, at least 3 months as a trial, because the body is not a light switch. You can't just flip the light switch on and then it operates. Sometimes you're lucky, it could happen in 2 weeks, but I've even had customers here or distributors on the product for a year and a half. They're still getting gains, more gains, more gains, more gains. Isn't it nice to have a product that accumulates the gains that you get and you don't go backwards? This is awesome. So let's look at 4 months. She writes here, from May to September 1 of 2021. My face smoothed out thanks to the active production of its own collagen. As it filled from the inside, the skin tone became alive. Remember, this product plumps up the cells, and also it was one of the best collagen producers on the planet. It produces collagen because of what's in it. And last call we did, we went in depth with Dr. Sally Byrd on what exactly these ingredients were. So and she says, but most importantly, this is the first summer when I did not have acute respiratory infections. My body always reacted negatively to drafts, air conditionings, and wind. Usually, she was ill almost all summer. Another completely unexpected effect for everyone who takes youth. It is much easier to tolerate heat, changes in weather, and recent smoke. That means, folks, in basic terms, in medical terms, her immune system is increased. Okay? And who does not need their immune system increased at this time? Pure speculatively, you note that such phenomena take place, she writes. But at the same time, there is no such discomfort as it always has been. Now, how can you replace that effect? All the way to Russia, all the way across continents, all across countries, across the vast, the pond we call it, right? So now what I'd like to do is I'd like to stop the share screen for a sec here. And I'd like to go now to Karen. Karen, and I was talking to you earlier, you said that you had 2 testimonies to share with us today.
I do.
And let me introduce Karen. Karen has been a nurse for over 40 years, and she worked as the head nurse of a trauma section for over 35 years. Is that right, Karen?
Yeah, 36 years, yeah.
30, I was off 1 year. 36 years as the head nurse for that. So she's been on the product. She has her own testimonies, which if you come to the next event, we will share that. Today, we're going to share something that she wants to share about her team. So Karen, do you need me to get that picture, or do you want to talk about your mom?
Not yet. Not yet. First, I just want to tell you a little funny story about my mom. My mom's 83 years old. And of course, when I first started introducing the tea to her, she was very, very skeptical. But she said, you know, it sounds good. I want to try it. So only after 5 days, my mom would wake up very frequently through the night. She said to me, I've had the best sleep ever. And that was only after 5 days. So she said to me, could it be from the tea? She still had a doubt. So then after 2 weeks, my mom always had troubles with her bowels, like she'd go every 3 to 4 days. She said that she started going daily after that. Again, she said to me, you think it could be the tea? She still was skeptical about it. And she would often have frequent trips to the bathroom. Those were reduced. She was going once to twice times a night. So she was loving that part of it. But the best was 2 months after taking the tea, she came back from the doctors and she said that her blood pressure, which normally would range 140 to 150, the high number, it had come down to 120/78. The doctor could not believe it. And she said, Karen, do you really think it's the tea? I said, Mom, when are you going to get it? It is the tea. So she's been taking it kind of off and on, but recently she went to the doctors and her cholesterol level was high. So she said, Karen, I need to get 3 months tea from you because she's repeating it in 3 months. So we're going to see what that does for her. But yeah, it's great. She had some great results from it. So that was awesome. And then I've got a friend of my daughter, and I'll have you bring her picture up. Her name is Mana. Mana is 24 years old, and she's always struggled with acne. So after taking the tea, so she was taking it every morning. And from July 11th to July 31st, just recently, so after 20 days, look at the improvement on Mana's face. It's incredible. So, and she's very busy with her work schedule, and she's actually went away a couple times, and she actually forgot to take the tea with her. And she said there was right away, she missed 3 days of it. And right away, she had 5 to 10 pimples that popped up. And she said like, I couldn't believe that automatically she would break out. So she said that she'll never stop taking this. It's also helped her with her digestive system, because she said a lot less bloating right now and much better bowel movements for her. So she's very, very happy about that. And recently she said she started taking it at night and her sleep's been incredible. So she said she's not going to stop taking it.
Oh, that's fantastic, Karen. Thank you so much. That is really cool. And this was just in 20 days that this occurred.
Yeah, only in 20 days, Steve.
No, this young lady, she doesn't have makeup on or anything, is it?
No, no makeup.
Okay. That's amazing, because I used to suffer when I was a teenager with that problem. And for a teenager, it is quite traumatic, because you don't want to date, you don't want to go to school. You just,
Right.
you know, and it's quite a trauma for a teen. I mean, the little things that bother a teenager, you know, whether their pants are straight or whatever, it could really mess you up as a youngster. So this is awesome. This is
Oh
great.
yeah, she's so happy. She's like, she cannot believe this. And she's tried different things, but she said she'll never stop taking the tea.
That is awesome. Thank you very much, Karen. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I'm going to stop sharing. Now, what we have with us, a wonderful naturopathic doctor. Now, her name is Dr. Sally Byrd. She's been a naturopathic doctor for over 40 years. Now, Doc, I'd like you to unmute yourself if you could, please.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Hey, welcome, Dr. Sally.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, no, listen, I have some, I just seen your name up there and I said, I'm going to pick her brain, because you have some golden nuggets that we love to get into our product. Now, let's talk a little bit about the youth product, okay?
Okay.
What is in the youth product that makes these results so fantastic?
Well, Karen, congratulations with your niece. That is amazing. The main reason why the acne started clearing up is because the youth has so much hydrogen in it. And the youth hydrogen can regulate liver hormones and help the detoxification pathways clear, so the body can get rid of stress and, you know, toxins from food or emotions, or even having to wear a mask if she still has to wear that. So because it reduces oxidative stress, the body starts to calm down and skin usually will clear up. So that's very, very exciting. Also, because the youth is loaded with minerals, whether it's in the baseline product of the baobab fruit, the rooibos tea, the ancient salt, the raw salt, and the mineral frequencies that Joss puts into the product, that also calms the skin down, and the skin is actually being fed by good nutrition instead of slathering something that's going to dry up acne. That's what most of those medications do. They just try to dry it up. However, with the youth, it's regulating balance between the hormones, but mainly it's that hydrogen getting activated along with the glutathione, which is the master antioxidant of the body. So those two items, and the smoothness that will continue to follow is now because her body will have extra collagen. Even though she's young, she has some collagen available to fix it. But it's very, very noticeable. What a blessing that she has the youth to take.
That's awesome. Now, if anybody has their microphone on, please mute yourself, please. Thank you. Now, except for Dr. Sally, of course. Now, Doc, in relation to Karen's mom, how did that work in relation to the bladder issues and her sleep cycle? How did the youth help in that respect? In what manner and what pathway did help?
Well, the sleep cycle needs someone to calm down. So that again would be an amount of stress was released on her. So I don't know what your mom does. I don't know if she worries about things or has fear, or if she's able to, manipulate everyday activities. Does she drive? Does she run around, have a job? However, she's calming down at night so her body can actually rest. Okay. And with I know there's a hormonal frequency adapter in the youth product also. So she's getting a more balanced hormonal system at night when her body has to rest. And with the additional minerals, again, minerals are key. Remember, if we don't have minerals, it doesn't matter how many vitamins you take. Doesn't matter how many green drinks you might take. If you do not have those spark plugs, which are the minerals, your body, nothing's going to be activated. So the key word is it has to be activated. Now, your mom could have also been dehydrated slightly. So now she's got plump intracellular fluids going on. So the nutrients that were hanging out outside of the cells, even if she does take other supplements, they can now get in and do their job. Many times, and this is also a personal testimony, we can gain an hour of sleep taking the youth. So sometimes it's gradual, but your sleep does improve because you're resting. You're doing what your body is naturally supposed to be doing. Now, with the bladder, what was the second question, Steve?
Yeah. Why was the bladder function improved?
It's probably the hormonal frequency, and I'm not quite sure why that would happen so fast. Normally, it's a buildup where the liver's detoxing, the kidneys can flush out, and her lymphatic system, remember that's very important for our immune system, is also fed by the youth through the minerals and the fact that the youth is an reduces oxidative stress. So that lymphatic, because that's a detoxification pathway for the body. When the lymph starts to flow, the body will be stronger. And if sometimes people have bladder problems, not just to hormonal loss due to aging, but sometimes there's buildups of stones in their gallbladder or the liver or kidneys, or the body can't get toxins out. So it's trying to go to the bathroom, but it doesn't have the support system to fully empty the bladder. And because the collagen is formed by the youth in our bodies, right? And there's a restorative factor going on. And this is very fast. Normally this wouldn't happen that fast. However, the collagen can rebuild parts of a sagging bladder. Remember, the collagen is part of our structure. So in her, if she was completely nutritionally void of basic vitamins, minerals, and enzymes and things like that, even a slight amount from a few days of youth could activate some restorative process even in her bladder.
Yeah, very good. And Doc, you mentioned something about our product will upregulate glutathione. And now, I mean, just in relation to the master antioxidant. So if these organ systems like the bladder, for example, are surrounded by glutathione, would you say that would help its function?
Absolutely. Remember, it's very hard for an aging body to get glutathione from a supplement or even our food. Our bodies make some. However, as we age, it goes down. And Karen, I do want to ask you a question. Did your mother consume the product in the morning or at night? Just out of curiosity, please, if you could unmute.
In the morning.
Okay, that's very good. And that's why Joss has everybody start off for the first 2 weeks in the morning, because people's glutathione frequencies are lowest. Glutathione is very low in the morning. And sometimes with regular eating a healthy diet, you can activate it and build it up. However, your mom's levels may have been so low that the youth just jump started her because of the nutrition fix. And again, sometimes people are so nutritionally sick, even though they may not be sick in the body that you can see. It's just their cells are struggling and their systems are struggling. So adding and jump starting her body, that's what the youth is doing. It's jump starting her. And it's regulating her all day, which is fascinating to people. And she only took it once a day, correct? Yeah. So it lasted all day and it balanced her body through the day. So she was prepared to even sleep at night. So that's fantastic.
It's always nice to talk to you, Doc, because you just turned the light bulb on for me. You know that lady from Russia that had her eyesight improved,
Yes.
right? Well, I mean, you're talking about glutathione. I mean, what? You go ahead. Finish my sentence.
She was, well, I was going to mention about her eyesight, about the collagen.
Right,
Okay.
right.
The leading cause of glaucoma, for instance, is low collagen in the eyes. And people start to lose collagen by age 20. They're already at a 15%.
Oh.
Then it goes up, they lose 1.5% per year. So you start adding up the numbers, and by the time you're approaching middle age, you're at 30, then it goes up to 40%, and your eyesight starts to change. That's why many people need readers at age 40, because the eye has already changed shape. So for her with the eyesight, and this also happened to me, Stephen, is my long distance vision got better. I could start reading road signs better within about 6 weeks of the youth.
Well, that is fantastic.
Even though I still need readers now currently for close up, my long-term vision improved.
Right now, Doc, how long have you been on the product now?
5.5 years.
Very, very good. And
Yes.
as you can see, folks, every time I look at her, she gets better and better.
Okay. No, you're too kind. It's been a long day today. So,
Well, I mean,
nice.
I've known you now for 2.5 years since I've been on the product myself, you know.
Yep.
So look at the hair. It's
hair, it's been raining today, so it gets a little big.
It's not hair. It's like a big. It's like mane. You know what I mean? It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
That's what the youth does. It's fantastic for hair growth.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, we have one picture on our website having to do with hair. A guy before and after. I think it was 20 days. No, it was 2 months. 2 months, his hair actually started to. Well, I wish it did that for me, but I'm beyond that. Like they say, hair doesn't grow on a busy street. So there you go. Yeah. So now I'd like to open it up for questions for Dr. Sally, because she's not always with us. And if there's any people out there who have a question, just unmute yourself one at a time, please, and ask Dr. Sally whatever you need about any product that we have.
I have a question. It's Lori.
Hi,
I just
Lori.
wondered, hi, is there a best time to take the tea, like morning, overnight, or what are the people have asked, and I don't have an answer for that. So,
Well, normally we start them on the youth, as we explained earlier, in the morning, probably because Josh knew it would jumpstart their system.
right.
And then they'd see changes happening more quickly. And you can also take it in the evening to even for people that have a hard time calming down. Like if somebody has a busy mind,
Yeah.
taking the youth at night can help restore that, especially if they normally drink herbal tea at night. They can mix the youth, the rooibos tea will mix with chamomile tea, for instance. It'll mix with ginger or fennel to calm down, or holy basil tea. It works really, really well as a complement. The brain should be taken during the day. So if you're a morning tea drinker with the youth, you can mix the brain in, or if you have a lot of work in the afternoon, the brain is great midday so that you stay focused through the end of the workday.
And Doc, the brain is just another tea, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And then energy should also be taken. Energy is really good for not just athletic performance, but people with thyroid and adrenal imbalances. So sometimes those people have backward cycles. So sometimes they can't sleep at night and the energy will calm them down. So it depends on who's taking it. Most people with a healthy structure, not under stress, will do well with energy throughout the day, especially if they're in training or they don't want to take thyroid medication and things like that. And other people, it'll actually calm them down. Just like some people can drink a cup of coffee before they go to bed. Those people usually have, and Stephen knows this very well, sometimes they have low adrenal or adrenal fatigue. Their body is working opposite of what most people have. Some of these people could be working third shift. That's a tough shift. That's a great time to have somebody take energy and brain right before they go to work. If they got to work the 11 to 7 shift or something like that, or they're truck drivers, or they, just have unusual hours for work or for school. So the teas can be adjusted to people's lifestyles. Does that give you some tips, Lori?
Yes, that's
Okay.
awesome. Yes, thank
Great.
you. Thank you.
Hey, can I ask you a quick question about, Sally, how do you explain to a new person what sort of metaphors you use about how the frequency is embedded, and how do you explain that so it's people can understand it? A new person or something like that. I'm just curious about that.
Well, Joss is the master of explaining the frequencies. There are many ways, John. However, the most common one he uses or has used in the past is, can you see Wi-Fi working? Okay, can you see it when you turn a light switch on? Do you actually see the electricity going to the light so it turns on? That is a frequency that people can relate to, the computer or a light bulb. That's usually the two easiest things. There's frequency well, right now, the ultraviolet lights that are used to eradicate viruses in hospitals and things like that. That's a frequency light, if that helps, because it destroys bacteria, mold, and yeast. And that's why they're used now on airplanes, cruise ships, hospitals for many years. So those are 3 of the easier ones. So you don't have to get into chemistry, makeup, and molecular stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking sometimes, if you take a plant, like, and then you make a something that you can smell, like the olfactory thing. That's another way that I just think of it. It's being concentrated in a particular form. So this is an electronic.
Yes, it is. Even getting a massage, John, is a frequency adjustment. There's many, our world revolves around frequency. The sun emits a frequency, a raindrop, a snowflake. They all have their own frequencies. And if they want some body science, you can look up the Hertz frequencies of our own body. For instance, we resonate at a frequency from God. That's how we're made. And I believe I think we're at about a 68% frequency. Stephen, you can correct me because I don't have my chart in front of me. But each of our organs has a resonant frequency. And I know Laurel has a chart because she sent it out. However, it's fascinating. So people can start learning that term, because in the coming years, frequency should be an everyday word, because that's really how we're even existing on this earth.
Right. Thank you very much.
Get you that information, John. We'll bring it and get it to Stephen to put up.
Yeah, thank you. I just think
That might help a lot of people.
Yeah, that helped me a lot. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Is there anything that you'd like to summate? Because I'd like to, from this point on, we have about 15 minutes left in this hour. We'd like to keep it 1 hour. Last time it was a little bit longer. Is there anything you'd like to summate in relation to the product before I go on to the compensation plan?
One quick thing that you asked earlier, Stephen, when you were giving the testimonial from Russia, the oxaloacetate, that is in the youth, and it's not something we normally discuss. It's not a common thing. And Josh was brilliant when he put it in because it regulates blood sugar.
Mm.
So it not only helps athletes, and that is also why people's eyesight is probably being enhanced, because that's also an activator of collagen. So the reason why the acne started going down and the bladder could have been healing from the other testimonies, and this just came in, it can also protect the body against mercury and aluminum poisoning. So many times people will have bladder leaks due to heavy metal poisoning. So that could be something that may be working in your mom, Karen. It can also help against even cyanide poisoning. So if you're detoxing heavy metals, which most people are doing very in-depth pills, powders, and extra liquids, and spending another couple $100 a month on these things, the youth can be a gentle daily detox. And we do have people go through detox phases on it regularly. And it's probably because of that ingredient, the oxaloacetate. So I don't know if we're pronouncing it properly, but it does increase energy and ATP for the cells. That's why the youth sometimes helps with weight maintenance long-term, and you reduce the bloating, like in your niece, Karen. That could have been why she's reducing bloating. Not only does she have collagen going through for her intestinal strength, but you have this also reducing that. So it's also a great muscle, helps you do exercise longer. You just feel better when you exercise. You're not as exhausted afterwards.
That's a really good point, Doc, because I like taking my tea before I go for my big walk.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and then I could burn up that mountain much better with my bracelet on and my tea in my gut. I'm out there conquering mountains, you see.
Yes. And somebody posted in the chat that there's a really good book on frequency. So you guys can go to chat or start learning about that, John. Somebody put it in there. I don't remember who did. I have the book, The Body Electric, and there's several other things. But it's easy to get the information.
Doc, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're awesome.